All right, so in this video, we're gonna do some fine tuning. We're gonna do some case study work. We're gonna do a little bit of practice. We're gonna talk about some targeting, and we're gonna talk about bypassing some trades, like really focusing on getting used to which ones you should absolutely take and which ones you should pass up. Of course, we're going to be focusing strictly on the 3-bar reversal. I guess at this point, I should change the name of the channel to the 3-bar reversal club. But anyway, let's take a look at this real quick. I said case studies. There's a couple of examples that I've pulled out of AUD USD. And then some people have been asking, because they know primarily I'm a swing trader. They say, can you do this on, can you scalp this? Can you do it on shorter time frames? This is the 5-minute chart. So this will show you that you absolutely can. And they're pretty frequent. If we're just looking at, this is all stuff from yesterday and today. 1, 2, 3, 4. There might have been one more in here, but those are the ones we're going to talk about. So let's jump into it. We're going to move kind of fast, but I'm going to try to make the information clear and concise so that you understand it. Watch the video as many times as you need. Bookmark it so you can always refer to it. It's going to be packed with a lot of clarity here. So looking at this guy here, looking at the first one here, zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. Here's our bearish engulfing candle. Here's our doji candle. And here is our trigger and entry, okay? And after this class, you guys will probably say, yeah, you're damn right. We don't need no damn robot with this type of price action happening. So identifying it, remember, what's the second thing that you automatically do? You go in to plot your target. So in this case right here, it's going to be a Fibonacci retracement from swing high, your nearest high, which is right here, from swing high to low, which is a low wick action under that doji. Your target is the 618. Okay, so this one is just going to be a very quick explanation because it was just so clean. It was almost perfect. But let me put the profit loss tool on here, entering right here when the trigger bar completed, our entry candle, our stops right above our right below our doji, and our target at the 618. Okay, so some people are going to struggle with just using that 618 and locking into that 618. Because the FOMO, the fear of missing out, and the greed. Trade psychology wise, you're going to have to find a way to deal with that. I'm showing you on the screen how it works. It really shouldn't be any questions. But the part about this, okay, so like I said, in this focus study that we're doing for the sake of this, the biggest portion is the trade psychology. Okay, so listen. You don't want to blow this trade up. This is a 2.25, meaning it's more than a 2-to-1, meaning this is your trading life. This is your ability to stay alive and trade long term. It is not predicated on anything else but to continue to do this over and over and over. So that's the golden nugget. As long as you can do this over and over and over, you can be a successful trader, because doing this allows you to stay ahead of the curve, even on trades that you don't win on. Now, luckily, as I'm showing you here, this wins at such a high clip. It just makes it a whole lot easier. But you have to make sure that you do not self-sabotage the trade. And what I mean is that once you get in, you can see the trade fall back on you, even being in the negative, because look, here's our entry right here. Price action comes down, but notice your stop is below the low. So it would have to be a complete failed trade for you to lose. Psychologically, this is what will make or break you, not closing the trade. And I'm just going to be honest with you, as a trader who had to experience these things and grow through these things and be able to withstand that right there. That is what is going to make or break you as you grow and as you go through your trading career. When you have a setup like this, though, here's the good thing. The 3-bar reversal usually withstands it. And you'll see over time, maybe I'll be able to do some in this video. You get that. You just have to be able to understand, hey, I got to stop in place. I got a great trade. I'm not going to let myself psychologically blow it up. And also on the flip side, once we entered here, just because some profits came in there, it's not enough. You cannot take that profit. That's probably the most devastating. If I were to be able to rank the things that cause for the traders to fail in this industry, 2 of them are right here. 1, closing winning trades. That's 1. 2, taking profits too early. Those are two of the most, when you talk about that 95% failure rate amongst traders, you're looking at it. Now tell me where else you're going to see that type of real life information on a video. And that's just because of my sincerity and passion about this game, this industry, this business, this skill. So you have that, write it down. You have to be able, when you are in these types of setups, and the good thing is you only want, this is an A+ setup. You only want to involve yourself in A+ setups. When you have fear of missing out, and when you start reaching and stretching and maybe and what if and doing all this other stuff that you don't need to do, that's how you ruin the whole thing. Take your A+ setups, execute on them, and then you can start talking about set it and forget it. Chances are, if you can do that, you look up later and you're at target. That's the truth. You're looking at it. Okay. Wish I would have been in that trade to show you guys. Okay. Up to the 618 target, you're done. You sit up and you wait for the next one. I hope you guys got all that, but I'd want to come back one more time. This part right here where he pushed back, that's the make or break. You have to be able to survive that without saying, oh, it's down a little bit, I'm just going to close it. When you were in an A+ setup with that wins, I got to give it a 75%. I almost want to give it 85% on a A+ 3-bar reversal confirmation. Okay, you got to be able to get through that. All right, leave that like that. Okay, let's move over to the next case study. Okay, and that's going to be this one right here. I have this one marked as this is bad. Bypass it. Why? It looks good. Let's talk about it. Bearish engulfing candle. Now, this is going to be education right here. Okay, and this is where that train set of eyes is going to come into play. Doji and trigger and entry. And this is also where really understanding market structure is going to come into play. Okay. So for this section right here, okay, remember I have it marked as bad bypass. It does not have a 1.25 to 1 risk versus reward, RR. Let me show you. Okay. So on this right here, you're not trending. So you can't use the extension from the low to the high to look for targets up here because you're not in trend. You can only do that when you're trending. Okay. That's really understanding trend continuation opportunities versus counter trend opportunities. This one here, you could only look for targets off of Fibonacci retracement from the high to the low on it. Okay. If I grab the retracement tool and I start from the high to the low, you see he comes up and deals with that 618, a little bit of 786 in this area here. Okay. Okay. That's a trade that you would bypass. Why? Because once you enter, let me grab the profit loss tool. Once you enter, once the 3 bars confirmed, right? And you're looking at your target, there's nowhere to go. The 618 is already there, probably because the entry candle pushed up so high. And yeah, your stops will be right up under. So this is actually inverse. This has way more risk to draw down to stop versus it does to getting to the 618 of the high to the low. You can't go anywhere. Even if you want to go greedy and say, well, I'm going to target 786. You're inverse. It's called an inverse risk versus reward. And to be honest with you, you should never take a trade with an inverse risk versus reward. Take that out of your playbook completely. Don't ever do it. Don't ever consider it. If it's not at least 1.25, meaning more than a 1-to-1. You'll hear traders talk about 1-to-1. I just set it at 1-to-1. That's wrong. Especially in Forex, you're going to pay a spread per trade. Each and every trade pair has a spread on it. So it could be 2 pips, 5 pips, 10 pips, 20 pips. And depending on how exotic it is, it could be more than that. So by default, a 1-to-1 in Forex is less than a 1-to-1. Who else is going to tell you that? In Forex, there is no such thing as a 1-to-1 because your spread automatically kills that. If your spread is 10 points, right? 10 pips. If your spread is 10 pips, what you thought was a 1-to-1 becomes a 0.90. Okay. So that's why you really need to be above 1-to-1, and you need to be in at least a 1.25 to cover spread and to just cover things that happen over time. All right. So we helped with that. We're just cleaning stuff up. My goal here is to make you better. We want to create better traders. We want to teach people better. We want to get rid of bad habits, and we want to debunk myths. That's what we do here. So that one is a good example on not a 1-to-1. That's one that you'd bypass. I don't even want that on my chart anymore, but I had to do it. Good part of this, like I said, this lesson. Okay, so ones to pass up, doesn't have 1-to-1, leave it alone. Okay, so this is going to be interesting here. This one here. Okay, here, bearish engulfing candle, followed by doji, and then followed by trigger and entry. Okay, so this one is going to have a little bit more going into it. Okay, how to deal with something like this. Okay, and it's going to have some of the same concepts. One, the first thing you do is go right into your targets, right? So grab the Fibonacci retracement because we're going sidewards. We're not trending, so we're not using extensions. We're going to start right here at the recent high, which is right here. Swing high to swing low. Okay, now we can be conservative on this target or aggressive. I'm going to show you both. The conservative target, our entry is right here when our trigger bar closed. Our target is our 618 that we just drew. Our stops are below our doji. We're barely meeting, we're not meeting our 1.25 criteria. Would I throw this away? Probably not, okay? The reason is at least we're at 1.13. We're not at 1.25, which is ideal, but a 113 is going to have enough in there for you to cover spread, okay? But also, the other reason I wouldn't throw it away is because you also have some other targets that you could consider on this. One, you have your 618, which you see was met easily. You have 786 in there, which is the next level up. Okay, so you could say, okay, well, on this one like that with this much room to cover, you could target 786. You could even suggest a retest. This is a little bit more advanced of price action that you know had been there before from our first example. Our first example, 618. So now when you come in at this one here, swing high to swing low, your 618 is here, but you know price has been here. You could, like I said, aggressive. The first one with the 1.13 was, like I said, conservative. You could even push that up and make it 125 if you want, like that. That would have worked too. That's another way to deal with it. Or targeting the 786 like that. Or say, I'm going to go target that here because I'm getting a 3-bar reversal, and over time, you understand how the stuff works. Now, if you get it like that, now you're getting a 2.26. So you got like a 2.6 the first time, and you're coming back with like a 2.2.5. Okay. That covers that one. Hope you guys got that. Oh, one more thing on that one. I almost missed it. One more thing on that one. It's going to be the same case where you entered here. Okay. You entered. Price action comes up and makes you happy. He takes it back. You're back at break even. He comes up and makes you happy. He comes back and takes it back and puts you to break even. He comes up and makes you happy. He comes back not only to break even, but now you're in the negative. That, with the time given, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. It's one hour. It's about 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. Psychology is going to come into effect. You got to be strong right there. You got yourself involved, again, in an A+ setup. You got to be okay with 2.5 hours. This thing is just jumping up and down and hasn't done anything. Wait a minute. We're on a 5-minute chart. This was supposed to be a quick trade. I should have been in and out. All bullshit. You're seeing it to ultimately still get the W. To still get the W. You're going to have to wait. Patience and your psychology have to come together hand in hand. Set it and forget it. You shouldn't be concerned with how long it takes. You did the work. You set the stops and the target. Let the trade do what it's going to do. That's your job. All right. So this part right here, you're going to have to withstand this, even to the degree that the price action actually dropped down and you were in the negative some. And oh, that's not going to work. I'm closing the trade. And you've sabotaged an A+ trade. This is make it or break it for your trading career. All right. I got one more right here. Looking at this one, this is a pretty tough one to deal with, okay? Because I don't think you get target on here. And if you don't get target, then at that point it could become hard to manage. So bearish engulfing candle, doji, but we don't have lower shadow. I don't like that, but it's still a small little doji. And trigger and entry. Okay, trigger and entry. So for targets, the first set of targets will not work. I can tell you that, meaning retracement from the high to the low. Grabbing the fib retracement tool, starting from the high, coming to the low. And then looking at 618. That doesn't work, right? That's against the rules on the 1.25 to 1 RR. It doesn't fit the rules, okay? We're going to bend this one just a little bit. We don't like to break rules around here, but we want to bend this to try to make it work. And I don't suggest you do that. Okay, so you're inverse at 0.67, which is a no-no. You come up here, you're at 1.12. So you're going to have to make a decision whether that's good enough for you. You could suggest, I'm going to try to get back up here, but I don't think you made it. And by doing that, you see how the trade came back down. See how what happened? So then you end up doing too much when you could have just said, you know what, that one is just one that I don't want. It's just inverse. I'm not going to take it. So you have to be psychologically strong enough to say, I don't need to take any risk like that, because here, what we did, it showed you that's not an A+. Look, it's bogus. The doji's not right. The engulfing entry is bigger, just as big as the engulfing candle, the trigger bar. You're like, that pushed up a little too much. I want one that kind of closes right above the doji, the good clean ones. And then if it did, then you would have had a good trade. I just pushed it down to act like the trigger bar closed above the doji. Then you would have had a beautiful trade. But the trigger bar, take that into account. That really is going to be the deciding factor in some of these. So there's a lot that went into this. Use this as a case study. Use this as homework. Use this as practice. Watch it as many times as you need. Okay, we did a lot of stops, targets, entry, psychology, and what to pass up and what can happen if you take a risk and if you reach. Okay, that's all we got on this one. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Head on over to the Harmonic Trading Academy playlist where we teach all these things and more in great detail. That being said, you guys take care of yourself in the market, and I'll see you in the next video.